experimental drug did become certified by the FDA, largely because of what they seen going on with me, because I had such great results and had quality of life coming back.
Yeah.
And I guess about the beginning of the 6th month, when we went up to see the doctors, I could feel that there was something going on, but couldn't put a finger on it or nothing. They did the PET scan, which I was receiving every 2 months, and the PET scan showed that there's 2 areas of cancer left, and they were both on the surface, both on the right leg. Watching just them 2 spots of the cancer that I knew was there now because of the scan, I could watch the changes to just them areas, pretty closely. And I noticed that the one area that lit up on my leg first, the one that was the lowest, down by the kneecap, it really swelled quickly. It went from the size of a dime to the size of a silver dollar in 2 weeks' time.
When did this happen?
I'm going back only 2 or 3 weeks.
Now 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we went in to see the doctor up there at Barnes, and he seen what was going on, and he recommended that I stop the BRAV inhibitor medicine because it seemed not to be working, and what we was looking into other avenues for treating melanoma, but the best drug that they had was only 15% effective, which I've never been a gambler, but if I was sitting at a table with a high stakes game and I was told I had 15%, I probably wouldn't play. No matter what the money reward end of it would.
And then also mention the side effects.
Well, the side effects of this BRAV medication was really very low. I mean, first off, I was in so much pain when I started it. I was probably only 2 weeks. I probably only had about 2 weeks left to live when they started me on that medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was completely bedridden. I couldn't get out and do nothing. And I'd had several spiritual journeys within myself to learn more about myself as I became closer to leaving this life. And it was really tough, but I was granted a gift from God to see the other side. And it wasn't as scary as everybody thinks it is. It is scary because you're moving on to a place you've never been. But also in the same respect, the knowledge that you gained about that made you more comfortable. I wish that it could be better, but the medicine has quit working. I went on to them full cannabis extract treatments, ingesting 3 grams a day with a teaspoon of honey per gram, because honey was brought up in an article where it was one of nature's best medicines. So I combined it with the cannabis oil and started ingesting that, and I started putting it on my leg too.
Now you stopped using it topically for a period of time.
I did, yeah. Well, when I was using it topically at the very end, there was so much being used at one time that the topical application would leave you quite stoned. You was very comfortable for the day, so as a medicine, an end-stage medicine, topically applied, it would be a great medicine. No doubt about it. But what was nice was where I was putting the cannabis oil directly on the tumors started turning. They started changing.
How did it change?
Well, your metastatic melanoma tumor is normally very black. It can go from black to a very dark brown. They've started lightening up. The tumors, the tall ones now, the ones that I've been treating the most, did not stay flat and black and hard. They grew, but they grew out of the skin. They started losing their pigmentation. They started losing their structure form and basically peeling and falling apart. The black is the alive, thriving melanoma, but as you can see, it's still flat against the skin. The ones that are raised up and changing color, that are turning to white, it's the melanoma that's being forced up out of the skin, similar to this white patch here. And
Now the white parts are the ones that have been treated with the cannabis oil.
Yeah. They've been the ones that's been treated the most with cannabis oil. This whole area has been treated with cannabis oil now. But I find this was the worst spot for the melanoma. This is where it erupted to begin with. And I feel that the cannabis oil is going straight to the root of the problem, because even though I've smeared it all over my leg, this is the most aggressive spot that it's affected. This and my groin area. And why I say most aggressive spot, it's because of the color change. You can see the color change from going to this blackish color to the red bleeding, from the red bleeding to a crustation, and then from a crustation to this white ooze. This is December 19th, so it was around December 12th. I was in at the doctor's. They took a biopsy of one tumor that was black and one tumor that was white. And we got the results on that report this week. The black melanoma spot they had removed for testing was your full-blown melanoma with the BRAF inhibitor or the BRAF mutation there. The white tumor was called melanocyte, which is the cellular structure for the melanoma. The melanocyte was breaking down into separate molecules. It was no longer a metastatic melanoma. They didn't even call it melanoma. They called it by another name that was real similar to it. But they on the report, it was a very positive report. The report was telling me that it's still there. The cellular structure is, but the disease is not. So instead of continue to see more and more growth from these tumors, they've stopped growing in size. The cloth baby diapers that everybody's familiar with, I got a case of them, and I'll go through 5 or 6 diapers on that leg during the day.
Because it's always seeping.
Yeah, it's always weeping a clear fluid. Application of the oil has continued on to this day, and it will continue until I have no benefit from it anymore. But I think that without this cannabis oil, I wouldn't be here right now.
This BRAF, you're saying that's continuing to work in you now? Is that
well, I just now restarted BRAF medication, so we don't know if it's going back to work for us or not.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you're taking that again.
Right. I started at the beginning of this past week.
Okay. And the reason why the doctors wanted to do this again, start you on that again?
Well, they seen the results of the melanoma taken back over my body.
Right.
It was very, very aggressive.
It was very quick this time, wasn't it?
You're right, right.
Would last 3 weeks, right?
Right. In 3 weeks' time, the tumors went to being completely flat against the skin, to starting to raise and bubble out of the skin again. The largest of the tumors that I'd been treating with the oil first, because they were the ones I seen the reaction in first, they stopped their growth, but they turned white and just started weeping all this fluid coming out of there. Now the ones that are black and would get aggravated, they would not weep a fluid. Out of them came blood. Now there was questions asked by the head doctor down there. It was, had I skipped any of my treatments? What have I done differently to make this drug work so well? And he knew that I was ingesting the cannabis extract. And on my last visit last week, he became very excited about the results from this cannabis treatment on the leg and what it had done to the tumors. $22,000, which is what they're charging my insurance provider for 3 months' supply of that medicine.
Wait, for 3 months?
3 months is $22,000.
Oh my God.
And if you want to break that down, it comes down to about $92 per pill.
And how
And
many?
I will take 4 in the morning. Most expensive breakfast I've ever ate in my whole life. And I'll take 4 after dinner. Most expensive dessert I've ever had. So it's $800 a day being paid to a pharmaceutical company, which I find exorbitant. I mean, I understand that it's a life-changing drug, that there's research behind this that has to be paid for, but that just goes to show you how far our system of healthcare is broken. You know, because here there is a viable treatment. It's not going to be covered by all these insurance carriers out there because it's a brand new medication. And you throw down a price tag like that on these pills. I'll get a case of pills that lasts 3 months, and $22,000 is a pretty damn big chunk of change.
Yes, it is.
And most people at that point in time would not even be able to take that medicine. Because if their insurance ain't approving it, there's no way they're going to come up with the money to do it. And I was in that same boat, but they went ahead and proceeded with giving me the BRAV mutation drug for free. That lasted for 3 months, and in 3 months, the drug went from being experimental to being approved by the FDA. So the company that is producing this drug is called Gentech, out of San Francisco. They talked with me directly. They was going to try to get me my medications for free if my insurance carrier wouldn't pick it up. Well, my insurance carrier picked it up, but they've only picked it up for 6 months. After 6 months, they want to reevaluate the situation again. So, you know, by April of next year, I'll be out of this original prescription for the Zelboraf, which is their commercial name for it. And I'll have to resubmit all the paperwork to my insurance company again to see if they'll continue to cover me on this drug. What this BRAV medicine does is it puts up a firewall in my DNA malfunction and stops the cancer from breaking my DNA chain at that point. And that's how come I seen such a aggressive retreatment of the melanoma once I started that drug, because my body was just full of it. I mean, it was on both lungs, it was on my liver, it was on my bladder. I'd been to the eye doctor because I was having problems focusing and being able to go outside during the day with the sunshine. It was almost like I would get a sunburn.
Now, you had a reaction to the sun when you were out too.
Yeah.
You had your face broke out quite a lot.
Right, and that's one of the things that they warn you about on the drug package now, is that real sensitive to light. You should really be out of the light, 100% natural light. And I don't know that the other drug that they tried on me to clear up some of the skin problems that I was getting from this Zelboraf, they were even more sensitive, made you even more sensitive to the sun. As you can see, I'm wearing a pretty heavy t-shirt. This is no thin t-shirt. I can tan through this t-shirt. I can get a sunburn through this shirt on a sunny day. I couldn't even be outside in this. This is the treatment.
Cannabis oil.
Cannabis oil. And I strongly believe that the best medicines I've been taking have been the cannabis oil, the honey, and the BRAV inhibitor medicine. Because the BRAV inhibitor medicine gave me a chance to get a foothold on this cancer and let the cannabis do its job.